Welcome to Daily English with Emma. Today we're going to talk about something we all do every day, talking about yesterday. When you talk about yesterday in English, you usually use the past simple tense. This tense helps you describe things that happened before now, things that are finished. Talking about yesterday is very common in daily life. People talk about yesterday at work, with friends, with family, and in simple conversations. Let's learn how to do this clearly and naturally. First, let's understand what yesterday means. Yesterday means the day before today. Anything you did yesterday is already finished. That's why we use the past simple. For example, yesterday I worked. Yesterday I stayed at home. Yesterday I watched a movie. These actions are complete. They are not happening now. In English, many past simple verbs end in ed. For example, work arrow worked, play arrow played, watch arrow watched, clean arrow cleaned. When you talk about yesterday, you often start your sentence with yesterday. For example, yesterday I worked all day. Yesterday I cleaned my room. Yesterday I watched TV in the evening. This makes the time very clear. Not all verbs end in ed. Some verbs are irregular verbs. For example, go arrow, went eat arrow, ate see arrow saw. Do arrow did, wake up arrow woke up. These verbs change form, and you need to remember them. For example, yesterday I went to work. Yesterday I ate breakfast at home. Yesterday I saw my friend. Yesterday I did my homework. People often talk about their routine yesterday. For example, yesterday I woke up early. Yesterday I went to work at 9. Yesterday I finished work at 6. Yesterday I went home and relaxed. This kind of language is very common in daily conversations. Let's talk about yesterday morning. You can say, yesterday morning, I woke up early. Yesterday morning, I had breakfast at home. Yesterday morning, I felt tired. When you add morning, afternoon, or evening, your English sounds more natural. Now let's talk about yesterday afternoon. For example, yesterday afternoon, I worked on my computer. Yesterday afternoon, I met a colleague. Yesterday afternoon, I felt busy. You can describe what you did, where you went, or how you felt. Next, let's talk about yesterday evening. For example, yesterday evening, I went home. Yesterday evening, I cooked dinner. Yesterday evening, I watched a movie. These sentences are simple, clear, and very natural. People also talk about how they felt yesterday. For example, yesterday I felt tired. Yesterday I felt happy. Yesterday I felt stressed. Feelings are also actions in the past, so we use the past simple. Sometimes people talk about what they didn't do yesterday. To make a negative sentence in the past simple, we use did not or didn't. For example, yesterday I didn't work. Yesterday I didn't go out. Yesterday I didn't feel well. Notice that after didn't, the verb goes back to its base form. People also use the past simple to talk about a complete day. For example, yesterday was a busy day. Yesterday was a good day. Yesterday was a long day. The verb was is also past simple. Talking about yesterday is very useful at work. For example, yesterday I finished the report. Yesterday I had a meeting. Yesterday I sent the email. This kind of language is common in professional English. People also talk about yesterday in casual conversations. For example, yesterday I stayed at home. Yesterday I met a friend. Yesterday I relaxed and rested. Simple sentences are enough. Sometimes people add details when talking about yesterday. For example, yesterday I went to the supermarket after work. Yesterday I watched a movie with my family. Yesterday I cooked dinner and cleaned the kitchen. Using and helps connect actions. You can also use time expressions with yesterday. For example, yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, yesterday night. These expressions help listeners understand the order of events. Talking about yesterday helps you. Share your experiences, explain what happened, connect with others, practice the past simple naturally. Many English learners feel nervous about the past simple. But the most important thing is clarity, not perfection. Simple verbs, clear time words, natural sentences. That's enough. When you talk about yesterday, You don't need long stories. Short sentences are very common in real life. For example, yesterday was busy, yesterday was quiet, yesterday was better than today. These sentences are simple and useful. Learning how to talk about yesterday helps you talk about your routine, your work, your free time, your feelings. It's one of the most important daily English skills. The more you listen to past simple sentences, the more natural they feel. Over time, your brain starts recognizing patterns. You don't need to memorize everything at once. Daily exposure is enough. Talking about yesterday is a bridge between your life and English. You are not learning random sentences. You are learning how to describe your real experiences. Talking about yesterday is one of the easiest and most useful ways to practice English. With the past simple, you can talk about your day, your routine, and your experiences clearly. Keep listening. Keep noticing how English uses the past. This is Emma. Thank you for listening to Daily English. I'll see you in the next episode.